So I finally got through all of the big three, and I must say, I now know why all of these series are so beloved. Bleach was a wild ride all the way through. I enjoyed every single episode of the anime, and I am really excited for the 1000-Year Blood War arc to finally be adapted into the anime, because this series ended on a bit of a low note. I personally think the Fullbringer arc is the worst arc in Bleach, but that could just be me. As I was watching the series, I was trying to figure out what made it stand out from other manga, and even the other two of the big three, to make it a part of the big three, and as I was watching it, I figured it out. It was the antagonists. I love the antagonists in Naruto and One Piece, but there was something about all the antagonists in Bleach that I really loved. They were definitely the highlight of the series for me. Not saying I didn't love the main cast, because I did, but man, the antagonists are just great. Just like with One Piece, as I was going through Bleach, I found myself caring more about the characters and the world of the series that I don't often get to see in series that I watch or read. This anime had a way to get you invested in everything that was going on, which made the experience of the story a lot better. Bleach always seems to be the most controversial of the big three. People always say it shouldn't be a part of the big three and so on, but first of all, it is a part of the big three, so get over it. And second, this series doesn't start to slip until Fullbringer, and that arc is extremely short, so I don't even see why people don't like this series for. There are so many people that I have seen that have said just watch the Soul Society and then you can just drop it as it goes downhill afterwards, and that is the biggest lie of the century. The series only gets better and better as we go further along into the Arankar saga. There's just something about all of the Espada that I really love, and although overall I think Naruto has better fights than any of the big three, I think that this arc produced one of the best fights I have seen in all of anime. It was so well animated and so well choreographed, and the implications of the story later on just made everything feel so good. It was truly a masterful fight. If you were like me and have been sleeping on Bleach because of all the negative stuff being said about how it drops in quality later, then you should do yourself a favor and check the series out, because you won't be disappointed, as the series is a banger and has a rightful place in the big three. The characters in the series were all great. I had a really enjoyable time watching all the characters interact with each other. In some instances, I like the side cast more than the main cast. Some of the captains are super cool and funny, the lieutenants all have fun and interesting personalities, and as I mentioned before, the antagonists were really fun to hate on. I would say that the characters are the highlight of this anime. Like, sure, the fights are cool and the world is interesting, but I can't help but think that the characters are the biggest reason as to why I fell in love with this series so much. It probably contributed into how I was able to speedrun the anime in only a matter of like 6 days, because they were so enjoyable. There were some characters that before I got into the series I thought I wouldn't like all that much, but then I actually really loved when I was getting into the series. A really good example of that is Kenpachi. I don't know why I didn't think I would like his character, I just didn't think I would. But as I got into the series, I really ended up loving his character. His character was a really good foil for Ichigo and was overall really funny and still remained OP as hell even later in the series, despite never having access to a Bankai or even a Shikai for that matter, and that just made his character all the more awesome. Man, I love the world Bleach has set up. The Soul Society and Hueco Mundo are both really interesting places to explore and learn more about. It's really cool to see the types of culture surrounding the Soul Society, and overall it's just interesting. The Soul Reapers are a really cool and unique concept, and it really sets up a lot of great plot points throughout the story, as the history of the Soul Reapers goes really far back, and sure, we don't learn everything about the Soul Reapers, not even close, but what we do learn about is tied very closely to the world at large, as the Soul Reapers are pretty much always around, as they need to take lost souls to the Soul Society, and they need to slay hollows to make sure their souls also make it back to the Soul Society. The world was super interesting to learn more about as we got further into the series, and it was super fun to explore all the different people who have lived in this world, so that is really cool. The animation in the series is the best of the big three. The animation is so smooth and looks so clean all the time. The fights always looked so good the entire time, and even the regular dialogue scenes looked good most of the time. They really went out of their way to make sure that this show looked really good, and I respect that. The art style for this anime works really well as well. Kubo's art style translates really well into anime, and it shows. All of the character designs look nice, the background art looks clean, and really everything just works nicely. I can't wait to get to the 1000-Year Blood War arc in the anime, as I'm sure it'll look clean as hell and really come together perfectly. If you want a show that looks really damn good pretty much all the time, then I recommend Bleach for sure. The music in Bleach is really nice. Bleach does repeat the same 3 or 4 OSTs throughout most of the series, but all of them sound really good and fit the series anyway. The OPs also sound really good. I don't think a single one missed, everything just worked extremely well. Most of the music isn't super emotional, but it can get you hyped for the fights that are going down. The sound design and how they utilize music, though, is different. They know exactly how to utilize the music and sound, and when it's appropriate to not play any music. If you want some really solid music, then I definitely recommend the Bleach soundtrack. It is nothing but bangers. Over the course of the pandemic, I have made it my mission to get through all of the big name series that I've missed out on. With Bleach now finished, that only leaves me like a few series left from that era. The big three are a group of anime that I have enjoyed thoroughly, and Bleach is right up there with Naruto and One Piece in terms of quality. I highly recommend that you check out Bleach if you haven't yet done so, as it is really damn good and is definitely deserving of its spot in the big three.